esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for our final elimination match. We are live here from Kiev Cyber Sports Arena, Starladder Season 10, well underway at the LAN Finals. This one will be NaVi versus Cloud9. Of course, I'm LD, joined here by Cinder. And Cind, we didn't actually do predictions. Draft's pretty far underway, but who overall do you favor coming into this?
NaVi, based on yesterday. 60-40 maybe. And I think for me, I will, if I could change my percentage after the draft, I would. I think it can swing very much in either favor after the draft for this match. If Cloud9 gets to run something greedy like they like to do, and they get to play a late game kind of style, I would favor them. If NaVi gets some really good aggressive picks and can take control, I would favor them by quite a margin. So, and they start with IO Slark, so as far as the aggression goes, they've definitely got that for them.
Yeah, it's a draft pretty far underway. We're going to get a look at it in a moment. I don't really want to spoil it too much, but we were talking about the Wisp, and it was a first pick Wisp.
Oh.
So it wasn't banned. Witch Doctor was the reply. Very good against Wisp. You cask on, normally the Wisp stays close to its allied buddy, and so you tend to get it to bounce quite a bit. Then they go for a Centaur. Good burst damage, and Stampede good to dodge relocate gank. So decent picks from Cloud9. Again, picking a mag go-to. And then the Slark for NaVi. Not a hero we've seen them run with much frequency. We've seen it, the hero more, but not for NaVi in particular.
They ran it yesterday against Secret in that game where they got just destroyed.
Oh yeah, I wasn't casting that one.
But that was the one where the aggressive trialing came in from Secret and they just completely fell apart. But it's for me, it's one of the heroes that just the way the hero works. This is tailored for Vost. It's the perfect kind of hero for him. Scales well with farm, wants to play aggressive, and has an escape mechanism. That's why he's so good with Weaver too. Like that type of heroes. Mirana, same category, life stealer with Rage and Fast. He loves being able to commit and having an escape mechanism. So, like player to hero, this is one of the best matches you can find in the Dota 2 world. So, looking forward to seeing him playing that. Now, we are going to have a Pudge ban for Cloud9. Just to catch up a little bit, Pudge and Puck have been banned out by Cloud9. NaVi have banned out Necrophos and Doom. Probably afraid of having the Doom counter out their Slark. And Cloud9, as a result of that, are going to be grabbing the Enigma. So expecting that they can run a jungler, get good farm, and not get too punished, which I think is pretty likely when you look at NaVi's heroes. I'm not sure they want to run for an aggressive trialing.
Well, looking at the bans for NaVi in the second stage, they ban out the Necrolite and the Doom. This does make the Enigma pick quite a bit stronger. There's two heroes that could be very good to deal with them now removed from the field of play. I'm interested that Cloud9 banned this Pudge, because while I really enjoy casting it, of course, I didn't feel like it was the reason they won. Like, other heroes could have potentially filled a similar role. It was a lot of fun to watch, though.
It was a really big part, though. We talked about it yesterday, and we might as well bring up the same. What was our wording yesterday? He didn't do a lot, but he did a lot by
being around,
being invisible on the map, constantly being out of sight. And just the threat of him was a bigger problem than the hero itself, because EG wanted to run these kind of brute force pushes, and if they get a hero hooked out of position, they can't do anything.
Yeah, fourth pick now coming for Cloud9. They've got their supports. The AOI 2000 Enigma was selected, and they still need their cores. Not sure what Eternal Envy will play this game, and also looking for that Fada hero. His Puck is out there. NaVi, are fairly difficult to bring down. The Slark and the Viper, elusive and tanky respectively, and with the Wisp at their side, they're a spread the map kind of lineup. Cloud9 are going for more of a death ball, though. This really lays their cards on the table, picking up the Dragon Knight.
Now
They could still pick like some sort of late game potential for Eternal Envy, but this is a lot of early four-man aggression at least. A lot of early tower takes, potentially.
And NaVi needs to have learned from their mistake yesterday against EG. They need to prepare for this push and not pick heroes that just cannot defend the towers early on. When this Dragon Knight reaches level 6 and Enigma reaches level 7, they're going to start pushing towers. Now, the one thing that's good for NaVi is that they picked the Dragon Knight into a Viper, which is very unusual, and DK will lose that lane heavily if it's a one-on-one, but maybe Cloud9 help him with the Witch Doctor, or maybe they even safe lane him for Eternal Envy. That's not out of the question.
Yeah, that's possible. 4th hero for NaVi. They still need another support at this point. Let's see, Scarlet Mage is removed, Ogre's banned out. We've seen... Occasionally they'll run like the Sand King, Bane. Oh yeah, this is a hero they've run a decent amount. We've seen some support Mirana as well, and Venge, but they don't go that way. It is good lockdown when heroes are stampeded, and they were lacking proper stuns. All they had right up to that point was a latch from the Slark Leap. Still, it's only a single hero that provides all their stuns up to now.
And worth noting, that Bane Slark combo is what they ran against Secret. They actually had the Bane Slark +1 lane. The third hero, I cannot remember what that was.
Was it Ancient Apparition? No.
Mirana wasn't Secret. Oh, they had a third hero in that lane. It was a try v-try, but seems like they only grab the Bane when they have Slark, so I guess they consider it a potent combo. I mean, it's a good setup for the pounce. You have decent burst damage when you level up Brain Sap, and during Fiend Script, you can steal a lot of agility with the Essence Shift, so it's a decent combo, but by no means amazing in my book.
There's a lot of ways to cancel the grip, too. Malefice, Dragon Tail, Stomp, Cask. Cask is really good. And the Dragon Knight has his range stun as well when he's in ult form. Fifth pick now for, or 5th ban for NaVi, then the 5th pick for Cloud9. Cloud9 did remove the Bat Rider, something that has been very successful for Alliance. Funix had historically a great track record on it. They are worried about getting 5-man hard. They ban out a Jakiro.
Knowing Cloud9, that was not their pick, though. Have we seen Envy ever playing that?
If this were EG, it was like that would have been a perfect ban versus EG.
So they did learn their lesson from yesterday against EG, but is that what Cloud9 are planning?
In fact, Cloud9 is running almost the exact same draft that EG did.
Pretty similar.
Enigma, Dragon Knight. Maybe do they have an Abaddon in the mix there? I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure.
EG definitely had a Abaddon yesterday in 2 of the games, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, they have 40 seconds to decide here. It's definitely going to be a call for Envy. I'm thinking they pull out their Luna, but it's not very good against Slark and Viper, but it has to be one of the heroes they're considering. It's one of the Eternal Envy's best heroes. It's great for pushing. I personally think it's too weak here, but if he gets good farm, he can overcome the problems here. But, there's too many problems.
There's a Terrorblade out there.
That's true. They could run this.
Starladder. Okay. They're going to fight fish with fish.
They're going to showcase this Starladder to the world so we get the remodel. Look how cool the other fish is. Can I?
Yeah, this is like a slab of tilapia versus the delightful piranha on the other team. Starladder's model is pretty bad compared to these other ones.
He gets picked extremely rarely these days, and to me the lineup of Cloud9 doesn't seem like an obvious combination with him. You usually like to get the amplified damage together with a ranged carry who can hit really hard. They do have the Death Ward with it though, which is a really cool combination, and Dragon Knight can deal some physical damage, but yeah, the Starladder pick here, interesting to see. I do not understand why this hero is like never picked. It's a situational one, but I love this hero.
Amplify damage was a while ago, but it was buffed to give, I think it was like 50% more minus armor at all levels.
Minus 200 on level 1 or something.
Yeah, minus 5 billion. You just die as soon as he casts it.
You cast it and then you take a creep hit.
That being said, they go back for a Timbersaw, who has
really good
plus armor, and he's up against 3 strength heroes, and they need a deep push. they get a lot of value out of this 5th pick for Funnick.
This is the best pick in the pool for me. I cannot imagine a hero that was better for Navi for that.
Yeah.
He's elusive against their... Sure, he can get chain stun, but if the stuns are used on other heroes, he can jump into damage. Like you said, counter push really important against what Cloud9 are planning. And triple melee strength hero against Whirling Death, of course, is what Timber likes to play. And I also think that the lanes of Cloud9 are going to allow him to get a lot of experience early on, because they're running a jungle Enigma. So he'll be playing against a Witch Doctor Starladder lane. He can just wait for the Slithering Crush and just chain away.
Yeah, I'm excited for that pick. I'm very excited for the Havost Slark, and I think most of all, I'm looking forward to seeing Eternal Envy and his take on Starladder. One of the most forgotten heroes right now in Dota 2. We may have an early clash, or at least an attempt for one. Havost and Vangscore moving together as a pair. Their team is quite far behind them. They're deep behind enemy territory. They want to drop a ward to block this Enigma camp, and they will do so. They know the importance of shutting down AUI 2000 early. Him and Zai, probably the 2 most efficient Enigma players in the world. Would you agree with me there?
At least 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
I want to not say top 2 because I think there are some of the Chinese Enigma players that are also exceptionally good at it. For me, Zai is the most effective by a slight margin, and then I would put Aoi and, well, I guess nothing comes to mind, so I guess I have to agree. He would be...
He's certainly up on the list. We can both agree about that. Okay, let's introduce our teams. You could hear the crowd cheering. That was as Valat introduces Navi for the home crowd. You've got Vangscore on your EO. He played it magnificently yesterday. Funnick will be handling your Timbersaw. And he's headed to the off lane for now. We've got Dendy on the Viper mid. Not the most exciting Dendy hero, but still a solid one. Havost on that Slark, as mentioned. That leaves FNG on the Bane. And then for Team Cloud9 on the Dire side, they come into this having had to fight their way through that first loser bracket match, albeit against a team that just looked bit outmatched in IAP Execration. Mag will be your offlane Centaur, standing in, formerly of Empire. Fana, your solo mid Dragonite. His go-to. Used to love to build the mech on Dragonite. Don't know if you can get away with that with the new mana cost, but we'll see if he tries for it. Pilot Eye, the Witch Doctor. Eternal Envy, the Starladder, and AUI 2000 enters a miserable jungle. One camp warded off, another warded off. Illusions blocking his camps even further. They've only gotten 1 spawn in the jungle.
This is bad news for him, and he needs to find this sentry now as well. I think he knows exactly where it could be. Yeah, he is a very experienced jungler, so we'll sentry it off and clear it out. So this camp will spawn in 1 minute, but that does not make this one spawn. So he will have to probably go between these 2 camps I'm crossing over right now from that one to that one, and possibly, well, he used 2 sentries, so he's not finding the other one.
Yeah, they drop 1 down over here. And he does get Centaurs, so a little bit extra experience to work with here. As there's Golem spawning elsewhere, and they're going to go in off the bat with Funnick. It was an early point in Maledict taken by Pilot Eye. They're actually going offensive dueling with the Timbersaw Wisp. It's a bit unorthodox in, but whenever we look at Wisp, we talk about having a hero that can use mono well and that needs the regen, wants to be aggressive, and Timbersaw fits the bill.
And because they keep... Well, they don't keep that good track of Enigma, but they know Enigma will be slow because of how well they blocked. They know it's essentially a 2-on-2 lane for quite a while. So I like this decision from Navi a lot. I think it's the right one. And at the same time, they will have Dendy playing Viper mid against Dragonite, which I said earlier should favor the Viper quite a bit, especially now that Dendy starts hitting level 3 and even level 5. And then the bottom lane, the Centaur against Slark and Bane, also not easy. Navi might win 3 lanes, but they don't have a jungle.
Yeah, but it's a slow down jungler. So yeah, it looks pretty good for Navi early on. Still they fall behind on net worth and experience. Again, only 2 minutes in. It's not like they're jumping out to that quick 1,000 gold lead or anything, but they're getting farm early on the Slark. Very important for Havost in particular, I think, to have a good start. He's a player who can struggle to come back if he overextends early. Sometimes just gets into frustration mode and continues to dive too far. The Timbersaw isn't farming the best, but Funnick is getting his levels, and the nice thing about these dual lanes is Navi are running 2 very level-dependent supports, the Bane and the Wisp, and with the dual lanes, they both turn out to get pretty good experience here early. Maybe not as good as the Enigma, but still quite solid.
Yeah, and if you're barely falling behind on golden experience 3 minutes in against an Enigma, you've actually done a good job. This looks like it's quite a bit with 500 XP and 200 gold, but by the norm of how much Enigma gets, this is...
It would normally be like 750, 500, I feel. Something like that.
Yeah, Something along those lines. Yeah, probably right. Maybe a little less in the gold, but the experience sounds about right. Bottom lane, they've nightmared Mag. They're going to miss the pounds.
Oh, that could have been the first blood.
On a nightmare target. What an absolute airball from Kvothe.
He just hesitated too long. I'm not sure why.
They wanted the nightmare to deal the max damage, right? 20 damage per second while you're slept, and then he held it for a little bit too long and just whiffs it. So that looked kind of funny, though. That's going to happen one time in this game. So Mag dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, that could have
kind of hilarious.
That could have well been the first blood. Unfortunate. It may yet happen again, though. It's the crackling. Well, here we go. AUI 2000 smoked up.
Early smoke for Aoi.
He's level 4. He's decent level.
Unusual for him to go for these ganks at level 4.
Yeah, he normally just AFKs in the jungle, and Fada's trying to bait him. Dendy is posting up aggressively, but at the same time, the smoke is revealed. Nice rotation for Vangscore. It was, if you're trying not to get revealed, it's a slightly worse time to smoke right as the rune spawns. He will be spotted out.
He gets a bounty rune for his efforts, though, but that's trading a smoke for that is a really bad trade. He could have just jungled and got more and still had his smoke. So the rotation from Vanscore is very helpful here in preventing a potential gank mid. And now they can turn the aggression onto Fata, which I think could be our first blood here. If he goes a little bit forward to try and get a last hit here, he could get nightmared up, but the miscall has probably come from the bottom lane where Provost is currently alone.
They do have 2 TPs. Well, one of them's on Fada. One of them's on a Mag Centaur. Probably can't do too much. So they've secured the Slark farm. Even though he misses on the first blood, he's still dominating the crap out of that Centaur. Has his treads up now. Their Timber Saw has his level 4 with the level 2 chain. Not the easiest kill. And now they're trying to... Basically, they've won all 3 lanes in the terms of the cores anyway, if not the jungle, like you said. And now they just want to try and find a first blood. So I like the way Navi's moving this one around. They're going to go in again with the sleep. On to Mag. This time, Havos won't hesitate too long. He goes for the level 3 pounds. Immediate TP out. It will be in time. Mag is very good about knowing when he can just TP out under pressure, and he's very good about carrying a TP. As they're diving in mid lane, Fada will also TP out to safety.
And 2 TPs coming into mid as well.
Wow, that's worth it.
This is a lot of gold. They just used 400 gold on TPs right there.
Who was the other one?
It was Starladder who
Doctor
cancelled.
Oh, Starladder, okay.
Oh, he's going to crush Fennec top? Oh, not really pursuing for that.
Yeah, leaving the Starladder 1v1 here against Timbersaw, even with the start Eternal Envy's head, it's not the easiest lane.
He's going to lose this lane if they're even on experience, which they are right now.
You can see Funnick starts to get aggressive as well. Then they tether in the Wisp again. They just keep on rotating Vangscore around so that nobody feels like they're just getting a static lane for too long. Interesting for Pylai Dai. Why do you think he goes for the Maledicts max here? Especially with the push they have early. Generally, we see the heal and the cap.
Dendy's not afraid to fight here.
He's going up the hill. One more auto tech, probably do it. Timber chain in. Funnick's not at range. That was close to killing off Pi. But yeah, I want to pick your brain about this, Sin. He's not taking Voodoo Restoration at all.
I'm not sure either. I don't think it's the kill potential of their lineup at this point is that good. I guess he has pretty good synergy with the Slaughter in the lane because he can keep chasing and getting multiple attacks off with the Maledict on. So over the course of time, that's going to stack up quite significantly. But I would agree that at least when we see nowadays that Witch Doctors generally get Restoration, I don't feel like this is an odd one out, whereas like Voodoo Restoration would simply not be a good pickup here. It's the way this game is shaping up, and you're playing against decent damage over time. Chakram, Poison from Viper, and some good burst as well. That heal can make the difference between whether you survive or die.
Now it's Ancients being stacked out by Team Cloud9. They have a Dragon Knight who can farm these. They also have Amplified Damage, which is nice. And hold that thought as they're going on Funnick top lane. There is a tether waiting from the Wisp, but not sure how much he can do. Brought down. Cloud9, strike first. Wisp would have just died if she tethered in. And wisely, Vangscore will just let his teammate go.
And it's good to see this different style of play from Aoi. I don't want to say he usually AFKs the jungle. It's not that uncommon for him to gank with, oh, wait a minute, mid lane, Dendy. The Maledict is paying off.
Now the leap in, though. Havos can try to turn this. Pylai Dai dropping low. He will fall. Havos strikes back, and the crowd goes absolutely bonkers here. And they look for the second leap. He's going to find that one, too. Mag's dead. Funnick jams it in. Makes it a 2 for 2. They had a teleport scroll on Eternal Envy, and I almost feel like a Starladder could have made a difference there, but he's not going to rotate yet. He wants that Blink Dagger. Or maybe the Vanguard early.
He could have made a difference, but at the cost of a lot of gold. They wouldn't have got another kill. And maybe he could have saved an ally, but he would use 100 gold on porting and then have to spend a lot of time running top again. So I think not TPing in there is the right choice. If they found an opening, that would have been worth it, but it looked like the fight was over.
Funnick just got a lot of golden experience. He may be punished, though. They do have that Maledict. He chains out a bit further. Malefice coin out in 7, and they continue pursuit. They just, even with this Maledict, oh, what a chain by Funnick. Just finding the range there as it hits level 3. That was actually fairly close to death. There was a third hero in the neighborhood in Fada.
If those trees there were gone, he was dead.
Yeah.
So.
Playing life on the edge. They're grouping up mid. They want to fight.
This is very aggressive from NaVi. I think this might be over-aggressive until Funnick is level 6. Then Chakram just is such a huge change for Timbersaw to pick up.
He is just being such a pain in the rear for AUI, though. Really just limiting his farm. And, well, trying to anyway. Buckler and Headdress are out after that kill, to be fair. He got the first blood, which is a big deal. So we kind of settled down as we hit the 9-minute mark. With Black Hole cooling down, no relocate yet, no Chakram yet on Funnick, though it's close. And the mech nearly completed. Both teams having some key things to build towards, as well as whatever Havos wants to make his first item. And to boot, FNG is near his grip.
That's a big change, because that allows pretty much any of Navi's heroes together with a Fiend script can kill any of the heroes on Cloud9. So there's a lot of potential ganks he can find around the map. In some games you see Bane kind of having one really good partner for ganks, but he can go wherever he wants and just find some blood. So that level 6 is going to be huge now. It's Cloud9 going for the push we were expecting. Once again, kind of late, right? But it is Cloud9, so they don't like pushing too early. But after all, it's been 10 minutes before they even start poking this top tier 1.
This is a big commitment from Eternal. I mean, he ideally wants this Wiz to tether out. And oh man, look at that damage! He two-shotted him. Now Funnick can try for the trade, another chain. He gets it. Oh, wow. He bit off more than he could chew there. Cloud9 trying to TP out. Will he get on time? Barely. Man. That minus armor on the well, it's actually 3 armor Wisp with the rate of protection. Just gets destroyed. But that is costly, as Eternal Envy did not finish farming his Blake, or at least didn't buy it. I wonder if he had the gold for it. He's at 2,100 now.
And in addition to that, just if you look at how much damage you usually see Whirling Death doing to strength heroes, when you have Sprint on, you take 15% additional on top of that. He just, like Starladder just disappears. It's one of the best counters in the game. For
Starladder, the one thing does occur to me, Sind, is you remember they changed Sprint recently, so it has no mana cost. Well, recently, like a few patches ago. And Blink Dagger has none. So I always found that was a bit of an issue with Starladder. Sometimes you struggle a bit for your mana. We'd occasionally see like a bottle pickup, or at least the treads.
FNG is in trouble.
Caught out by Mag. Stomp to start. Double edge to follow. No brain sap even chanced by him. He'll end up dropping.
A very easy gank here for Cloud9.
They have their mech now.
Yeah, 11 minutes for Aoi. Pretty good timing considering how hard his jungle was countered in the beginning, as we do see Host finding Pilot Eye in the top lane. He's going to die from Maledict, though.
Oh,
unless he gets a really good bottle off here. He's still going. And that was an important for Envy to show up there. There was cooldown on Breathe Fire from Fata. I think he would have lived without that crush. So good movement from Envy. Seeing him being mobile early on is a nice change. He's usually a very static kind of carry player, but Starladder kind of demands that you move around.
And it does go to this idea that Cloud9 are evolving their playstyle to match what seems to be needed. They're trying to fight NaVi on their own terms, which is aggressive early to mid-game play. So far, it's pretty even. With that fight, NaVi, who had managed to scrape together a 1K gold lead, they're back to 0. The experience 1,000 favored Cloud9. They're going to TP in their Viper to the bottom lane, but already the tower's dead. Maybe they just try to bait Denny. No, they're going to show FNG here too. He was hoping for a grip gank. One thing they really need is this level 6 in Vank score. He's still 4 at 12.5 minutes, and this is a lot of their counter gank potential. I mean, not just getting the levels in. He's so squishy that I worry for him to do anything against this Starladder later on.
And it's not just him it affects. It's, of course, his partner, Ghost, who wants to play aggressively right now, but simply doesn't have the full force of backup that you generally do have from Wisp at 13 minutes. And when you run that as a dual lane, he will often be level 6, maybe sometimes 7 at this point. But he was dual laning with Timber, and afterwards he left it. Oh, mid lane, Fata's going to get royally ganked here.
Oh my.
Fiend's Grip, Viper Strike, and a lot of burst from Funning.
They have really good solutions to strength heroes in general. The pure damage and the strength reduction of the Timber Saw. Not to mention you've got the pure damage of Brain Sap, and, well, Fiend's Grip, good lockdown too. A lot of nuke damage in general to boot. So the high armor of a Dragon Knight, it's pretty irrelevant this game, to be honest.
At least for now. And no matter how much armor he builds up, the strength counter of Whirling Death is going to be a big issue.
Top lane, again, Havost and Banks were able to strike. They find NV Starladder, picking him off. The Blink Dagger was just secured.
That's a very big kill.
He could relocate soon. They may even jump back in. No, they're going to retreat out for now. The walk down the river, moving towards the mid lane where Mag is lurking, and he gets hit by the Viper. Just poison attack after poison attack, continue to pound into him. Takes tiny instances of return damage, but Mag's the one who really suffers from this. Bankscore still hanging out near top. He desperately wants that level 6. But Pylai Dai is ready to punish this. The Orb's now going to smack him once. It gets Fata close. If he gets off a Dragon Tail, Bankscore will die. But oh, he gets his level 6. He retreats out successfully. That was a close call. But yeah, he's 6.
And NaVi are, in my opinion, controlling the map a little bit better than Cloud9 are. Sure, they lost their tier 1 tower bottom, but you saw NaVi getting both the runes. They're pushing out the lanes. They're instilling fear in Cloud9 of going anywhere on the lanes, because especially now that Relocate is available, it's going to be tricky. This is a stereotypical NaVi game. At least the NaVi we used to see months back seem to be going a little bit back to their roots.
It's a Ninja Roche. This is one thing Starladder really brings to the table. At level 1, the armor reduction is 10 from Amplify damage. Enigma can solo this Roche, or at least do it close to it, especially if they get a medallion. But with the Starladder, who needs it? We'll bring him down now. Doesn't seem that NaVi are going to have any win this is happening. That clap hurts, but not enough. NB claims the Aegis, walks into Dendi though, could lose this quickly, gets off the blink as the Viper Strike came through. They'll lose their Aegis, but they'll also lose Dendi on the side of NaVi. Relocate coming through. Havost? No, they don't want to engage. Actually, it's Cloud9 who do. Stampede, they're going to head for the Wisp. Relocate, going back in 1 second. It's too late. He's gone. And now AUI goes aggressive. NaVi just scattering. They pomp the Aegis for only a Viper death. A nice kill for Cloud9.
Fata coming in from a different angle. Was very close to going there, but Cloud9 will split out. Vanscore is, of course, visible and doesn't have a TP. Envy has hunted him pretty much to the ends of the earth here, at least to the ends of the map. And there he goes,
Wiz.
Mag. We'll claim that kill. Good call from Cloud9 to give the kill to Mag. That's his blink and 200 gold.
Yeah, double blink and Stampede to work with against a very mobile draft. You're looking at a Slark, Timbersaw, and Wisp, 3 heroes that get around quickly. You want to be able to run them down and just get that initial amplify damage on them, at which point they can really force the issue. I guess the good news for NaVi is they've removed that Aegis from Cloud9, so Cloud9, a lineup that could look to group and take towers with the Dragon Knight, the Enigma, the early mech, the Witch Doctor now taking a point as Voodoo Restoration, not Maxi Maledict, but without the Aegis it gets quite a bit more tricky.
And Voodoo Restoration is really good in level 1. It is...
It's a value point.
It's as good on level 1 as it scales in the next 2 levels. So generally, yeah. What we usually call a value point, the reason I like not calling it a value point per se is that it also scales very well.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what we call a 1-point wonder, actually. The ones that you just kill once. Like Dragon Tail is a 1-point wonder. One of the worst scaling abilities in the game for me. Like,
there's some weird things with scaling, like Shoryuken as well. You know, just get 2 points in it, don't max it. It's 100 at the first 2 levels, then not nearly as much afterwards. And the mana cost does go up, but here we go. NaVi going to push in the bottom lane. AUI 2000 and Mag are ready. They've got the Blink Dagger on the Centaur, and Havost is going to Dark Pack the wave. This means he doesn't have an easy retreat. They see Dendi as well. They really wanted Eternal Envy to be here to take that jump in.
And if NaVi are not committing to that, they're losing their top tower. This is just a bad strategic play.
If they try to TP out, they might even get caught.
Oh, well, wait, there's a smoke.
Relocate.
Smoke Bane will get a long-range grip.
And now the jump in from Bankscore. They've even brought in Funnick. 4 heroes just ascending on Fata. They try to chase out the lone hero left alone, though. It's Dendi caught in the bottom lane during this time. Eternal Envy and Mag combined. Witch Doctor ult secures it. So it's a Viper traded, but not done yet. Oh, Mag will TP out. These TP outs are really going to be a problem for NaVi, I feel, and in fact, the Wisp of Vangscore may go down too. Wah,
Crush the ground.
wah.
Oh, it didn't matter.
Yeah, and get towards your BKB if you're Envy. He's got it soon. Only about 1,000 gold short of that.
I'm curious to what you think about the Timber Saw in this game, because when I saw the draft, I was considering an early BKB on Timber in this game is really good. You generally want a mana item first, so either Bloodstone or often we see Yules as well. And I feel like in this game, Yules BKB would be a really good build-up, and then maybe an Egg Scepter. It looks like he's going for the Bloodstone, though. Of course, he did have good farm, but committing into fights is still tricky against 5 stunners as Timber, where if you have Yules, you can like remove Amplify damage, you can dodge a stun, you can set up your Chakram very easily. It has good synergy with the Slark Pounce. There's like a lot of things from the Yules, and then do you think he goes BKB as his next item, I guess is the question.
I kind of think you have to. There's so much lockdown from Cloud9, and it's not that much magic damage, to be honest. It's just the stuns that prevent him from, even if he doesn't die, he's not chaining through them properly. He's not able to get off his full complement of spells as easily, and he needs to do quick damage, because if he doesn't, the Wisp on the backlines is just total food. The Bane is going to be prevented from getting off good duration grips. I think at the big team fights, he has to be the one that goes in first, just to draw focus fire off of him, off the rest of the team. So yeah, I'm with you that I think BKB first would have been very strong. But
not absolutely first.
Yeah.
I think Timber is too weak without the mana.
Arcane Boots, and then maybe you get like a Soul Ring or something.
That's true. He could have gone the Soul Ring build.
And then go into Bloodstone later.
But we'll see how, if Funix farm continues the way it has so far, I think it's not unrealistic for him to have a BKB at about the 30-minute mark. Lost is going to get open on the bottom lane. Will Pounce here does not have Blink available.
But they found Vangscore. Pylite Die was ready.
Kill.
Oh no. No relocate out. He'll drop to the Maledict damage. Then they Black Cold of Oath. They lose 2 on the bottom.
Very well executed gank by
Cloud9. So
Beautiful
smart.
play.
They know how that Wisp rat works. Just
they're going to trade a tier 1 though. No, Dendy didn't get it. 3 health. Clunk.
Clunk. I will say, just going back to the Timber Saw discussion, that having a very fat Timber is incredibly strong this game for NaVi. Like, if you could choose one hero to be farmed, for me, it's got the Timber that I'd most like to get farmed with NaVi.
I think a 20k net worth Timber is stronger than a 20k net worth Slark in this game, which is extremely rare, but it's just the matchup is so favorable for him that NaVi would be wise to give him more farm priority than they have. He's got 62 CS in 20 minutes, which he was the offlaner. He doesn't get that much, but they're pushing out the lanes a lot with Dendy and Khvost, and I think Funix should be getting a little more.
Envy is just setting up in the bottom lane, but he doesn't really have too much by his side. He's going to go in with the Crush, then an immediate Blink out, just trolling Dendy. Well,
Envy's, does he like stomping the ground, or what's the matter with this guy?
I don't know. He's just a jerk. Just a rude dude.
Salty.
They do get their BKB now on C9, and BKBs are also very important for them to deal with the Timber Saw. And that's 1 for him, 1 coming soon for your Eternal Envy Starladder, up to 400 gold. Centaur nowhere near 1. The Enigma is building 1. They're going to have triple BKB, maybe by 24-ish minutes, 25 minutes perhaps. NaVi struggle against those BKBs. They have 1 hero to even provide lockdown through them.
And with Cloud9 building this kind of advantage, you just know that the next Roche is probably going to go their way as well. So if they can control the map, especially the tier 1 tower mid, I think is on the menu for Cloud9, but haven't managed to take that 22 minutes in, which is pretty rare when you run a solo mid Dragon Knight, but NaVi have done a good job at controlling that and not making that happen, but
he was also laning against the Viper.
Yeah, that's true.
But they find the rat. Eternal, or AOI 2000 hiding in the trees. Trying to retreat out. They have a grip at the ready. He worms his way through. Maybe they don't. In fact, he mechs. They just can't finish him now. Eternal Envy wants to go in. Dark Pack was used by Hbost. They're going to clear out the tree line. Defensive Sleep was deployed. FNG just going to TP out while Hbost is retreating to the right. He leaps in. Eternal Envy looking for that stomp. Oh, too late. Just a half second.
The ground.
He loves the ground.
But he had cooldown on it that time, I believe.
Yeah. They did lose their Wisp, though. Again.
That's true.
Rough Wisp game.
Hard game for Vangscore. They flank him very well. They have these Blink Daggers, and we'll probably get a tier 2 tower for this as well. Very good play from Cloud9, and more aggressive than we're used to seeing, as we talked about earlier. They are more hungry for getting out on the map, and they've been doing a really good job this game.
They get very strong in their 5-man now with the BKBs. The heal hits level 3 too. They've got an Urn out, and charge on that. you know, hold that thought. We're going to have an engagement. FNG caught out. He slept for now. They're going to chain Funnick through. BKB now deployed by Fada, and the Death Ward just crashes into Vos, not really finishing him off, doing decent spread damage to everyone, but no single target burst. As Pieliedie continues to retreat, they have not lost anyone aside from the Bane, and they're going to clean up Pi. NaVi looking for more. The TP out from AUI. There's just so little to cancel these TPs. And
Damn,
with the Bane dead, there's nothing.
A lot of BKBs coming out this game. Starladder.
Triple.
That was Enigma and Starladder, right? At the same time. Simultaneous BKB purchases for Cloud9. In the next team fight, they just flat out win because of that. NaVi do not have any tools to deal with it. So they need to find a way for the BKBs to get worn down. And that is probably the best way of doing that is skirmishing with the IO and forcing them to just BKB and they just pull out. You just go for relocate ganks to pull out those BKB charges. Because based on 5-on-5s, I don't really give NaVi a chance right now.
Rune going to spawn at 24 minutes. Let's see if it's anything big, because NaVi are currently camping it out with Avos. So, can they split push? I mean, that's where I worry the lineup they're up against. They're up against Stampede, double Blink Initiators. I feel like Starladder is one of the best heroes to punish a team that's trying to avoid fights.
Yeah, because he can mostly solo heroes. He is really good as a one-on-one hero.
Yeah, he's a dirty anti-carry. He's also very good against the Wisp, and I actually want... maybe that's
Frost has found Mag. Out of nowhere, he's pounced up. And he's dead.
They will rotate in, though. NaVi finally getting a kill without immediate retaliation from Cloud9. Roche will be up in 18, though. Oh, this could be a great time as Savo sleeps in. Can they prevent this TP out from Pieliedie? No, they can't. They need some more lockdown. These TP outs, it's got to, if we are keeping a running tally, it's got to be, what, like 6, 7 already? Something like that. Eventually, that will probably go away. Timbersaw late game can get his Hex. Eventually, Avos gets his Basher, but that's looking forward 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Like, Avos has to get something flying out here. Okay, he has the second ultimate orb. I was just looking at his creep score and then his inventory, which didn't match at all, but he almost has a full Scotty. So 500 gold for that. I'm imagining Basher next would be a really nice choice. I completely agree with that. Or BKBs. It's growing into a problem for NaVi as well. The issue is, even after you BKB, you can get amplified by Starladder, and then you Death Ward and just die.
Dandy is relocated back out. But can Cloud9 just set up on the back lines? Wisp will return. Do they bring anyone? Fang score? No, he's just going to sack himself, I imagine. Yeah, breaks the tether.
See you on the other side, Dandy.
The road ends here for the little Wisp. Another death, 1 and 6. The struggle continues for him.
And Roche is up. And this is a free Roche. There's no IO for 25 seconds. NaVi are not in a good position already on the map. They will see that it's happening. They have a ward here scouting it out, and the ping comes out from the Bane. But if they commit into this, they might just lose the game off of that kind of fight. It's very expensive trying to steal this. They will be losing 2, if not 3 or 4 heroes, so they'll be conceding it. And Envy will be grabbing the shield again.
He's got the Aegis, he's got a BKB, and Cloud9 begin to kind of hit their prime for this game, where they've got all their BKBs, the Death Balls online, their core levels are out. I think the biggest item I see that's not complete yet is maybe the Aghanim Scepter for Pieliedie, but he's still a ways off from that.
It's very unusual for Pi to get those kind of items, by the way. He usually plays like a 5.5 position.
I was thinking of like the Zai Witch Doctor. I'm like, well, yeah, he got the pretty fast Ags, but you're right, it is very unusual, Sin.
And that's a good sign for Cloud9, because if Pieliedie is getting good farm, it means everyone else is getting even better farm, because he always takes low farm priority. Right now, 27 CS on him. If you just look at the raw farm values, it looks good for NaVi, but as far as how the fights are going, how they're controlling the map, in the last 5 to 10 minutes, Cloud9 have just been doing a better job at taking smart engagements, and they're looking to take another objective here with the mid-tier 1, aiming for gank first, which is a great idea. But will NaVi fall into the trap here? Funnick is not going the right way.
Oh,
now
he's
he
close.
Is. Oh, wow.
Now he's stopped.
Envy wants to go really deep on this.
There's a plate mail on this Timbersaw. He is still pretty durable. They're just going to relocate him out immediately. Now the grip's used by FNG. He slept one, then he gripped Eternal Enemy, but the backup is a bit lacking as Havost is just leaping away. Now the black hole, reeled in only Dendi, but they charge over the ravine and go in. They immediately lose Eternal Enemy's Aegis, but it comes at the cost of a Bane and possibly of Dendi. He kites Mag up onto the high ground, double edge, it's just enough. barely able to get that kill. A 2 for 3, a secondary stun from Eternal Envy. It's a 3 for 3 if you count the Aegis as a hero. He will BKB now. He gets a couple more dashes though. Habost is going to turn and engage on him. The Essence Shift stacks are beginning to ramp up. Dragon Tail will be immediately dark packed off, and he may go back in. I'm not sure Habost is done with this fight yet. He's got a ward mid, so he has a decent idea of where heroes are. Look at the aggression. He's going to, oh no, I don't know if, oh, he wants this invis read. He's expecting Envy to even go for it. And Envy does have vision on it, and he is going for it. But now that he sees Habost pick it up, he's going to back off.
Yeah. I guess Cloud9 overall coming out on top in that. They do get the tier 1 mid. I think the fight favored them by about maybe only 1 kill, because NaVi got a pretty decent amount of return kills.
It was a 3 for 2 favoring Cloud9, but they lost their Aegis.
Yeah.
And they didn't take the tower.
Well, they did get it. I don't know. Did it get denied or?
Oh, I mean the tier 2 tower.
Oh yeah. The tier 1 was the first
tier 1
fight.
was pretty much a gimme.
Tier 2 got down to half. So overall, it's a win for Cloud9. I think it's a too small win though for what they had. They had a lot of things to play around with. Eternal Envy dove really deep on that fight, and it was unnecessary.
Yeah, and that is the thing about Starladder is he once his BKB's down in particular, they have a lot of control lane. For him.
Oh, never mind.
Well, there's a sentry ward and an obs in the area, but Habost will blink out at the right moment.
And he pings the ward as well, because he noticed that he's inside the sentry ward and the obs ward, so then he loses his ultimate.
What are your thoughts on the development of this game, Sin? You mentioned the Aegis not really being enough, not a great enough gain for Cloud9, but how do you see this going 15, 20 minutes down the road? Does either team have a significant lead, and how pressured is the team that doesn't have the late game?
I would still say Cloud9 are in a favorable position, and they're doing a good job. If they continue to farm and at the same time find a couple of kills and maybe take the tier 2s down, they're aiming for a very good late game. But the tricky thing is, if we get, let's say, 20 minutes in, or 20 minutes further in, and the BKBs are in 5 seconds, I think that's when Navi's lineup starts to really take off. Slark is exceptionally good in the late game. I think he out-carries any of Cloud9's heroes in this match. And Timbersaw, once he gets the BKB, once he gets a lot of farm up, in addition to that, he will be able to exploit the fact that the BKBs are 5 seconds. So then the challenge for Navi is to start a fight, kite around with the Slark, with the IO, with the Timbersaw jumping away, Bane Nightmare, Fiend Script, all that kind of stuff, Dendy just being tanky and using his ultimate. And then when the BKBs expire, they can reset and just completely roll over Cloud9, I think. The X factor for me is Aoi 2000 with the Black Hole. We haven't really seen a good one yet, and that could just win the fights.
Yeah, we saw that. We've seen okay ones, one on the Viper, the Black Hole earlier when they got the first blood, but yeah, it hasn't been like that team fight winning Black Hole.
No. And it's because Navi spread out nicely as well. They know they can't play up against it.
It's kind of one of the strengths of their lineup. You've got Timbersaw, Wisp, and Slark, as I mentioned earlier, all very mobile heroes.
And should a hero get caught in the Black Hole, you just relocate them out like they did before. I believe Dendy did get relocated out when he got Black Hole. Yeah. I think so, yeah. Well, top lane. Eternal Envy is going to show up and stop this push, but they managed to get some quite good damage in on this tier 2 before Cloud9 responded at all.
That was a long tether from Bankscore. This is a very active deforesting crew, and I mean, the other funny thing that just totally irrelevant, really, but AUI 2000's also been cleared out trees, so Funnick missed on the Timber Chain earlier because the Midnight Pulse had already done them in. So trees dying all over the place.
Buy 5 Quelling Blades on the Dire team and just remove all the trees.
That's the
Timbersaw useless?
Yeah, easy. Get your Enigma Refresher for the double Midnight Pulse.
And then a secondary benefit is you have 2 Black Holes. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, that's okay. Get your Scepter so your Black Holes will deforest as well. You can get 4 sets of trees down. Easy.
Just LD theory crafting.
Well,
the BKB for Funnick is coming up now. He bought a plate mail. It's something we often see players get. Oh, we don't often see it because this never happens anymore these days, but it's a very classic pickup against Starladder just to negate some of the effects of the amplify damage, but I would imagine he's taking a BKB now.
Yeah, well, he's going to buy something now, 4,000 gold. And they get their Basher on Habost. Navi are really starting to ramp up towards the mid game, or sorry, the late game. They've already held their own, and the other nice thing is because they hold their tier 2 mid, they've got a little buffer. Even if Cloud9 should take the next Rosh and win a fight, they may be able to hold the high ground against it. Roshan is up in about 2 minutes.
Sebastian?
This is a great pickup just to spread the map and Finally, they have a secondary solution for teleports. Jeez, it's been a while.
The funny thing is, now that they're getting the solutions, that's getting less relevant because they probably start having the damage to kill them off fast as well.
Yeah.
You would imagine, but
okay,
no,
it does go BKB.
Actually not, to be honest. There's still, yeah, it's going to be relevant. They don't have hardcore single target damage yet because Havos did go for this build. Timbersaw against the BKBs is useless as long as they're running, so nice pickup.
And they're going for 4 BKBs. Mag is building one too. I wouldn't even be shocked if Pylai did not complete an Eggs but went for a BKB of his own. This could be a 5 BKB game.
It's just too good together with Starladder. If you have amplified damage on 2 targets and you drop a Death Ward, they all disappear. Yeah. The synergy with Black Hole is amazing. The synergy with his own Cask is amazing. They even have the Hoof Stomp. Like, the amount of ways that they can set up a Death Ward here are plenty.
Yeah, and in theory, he should be able to sit way back.
Yeah, he doesn't need to commit at all because he's got a front line of 4 BKB heroes with stuns.
And with Matt's AoE to threaten Navi. Denny's going to take a risky jaunt into the river. He'll grab a double damage rune. And actually right now, the map looks pretty dark for Cloud9. They don't have any wards out. Do they have any purchase? Yeah, Pylai sitting on a single ward. Is there a gem? No gem for Navi. Just Cloud9 in the dark.
And this is an interesting graph. The growth is more significant than I thought it would be. Navi are gaining a lot of this. Just farming better.
Is it this next stage? Just like, is that the time where Cloud9 have to win this game?
I don't think there's a time when they have to win the game. No matter how late this goes, I think they still have a good chance. I would still say Navi's lineup, mainly just because of BKBs, will probably be doing better late game when the BKBs are low, but as long as fights don't happen, they don't use their BKB charges anyway. So the main thing for Cloud9 is to do something about the fact that they're getting out farmed, but they obviously don't have an idea about that because they can't see the graphs.
Yeah.
So this is about gut feeling, and maybe they feel like they're farming okay. So that could be a little scary for them.
They may find Dendy here. BKB is online.
Envy's going to jump.
They may have to.
So
that got the first stun. Now they can reserve the Black Hole. Caskin, perfect chain stun from C9.
Then they does get the buyback.
There, even Havos was thinking about going in. Now he's going to farm a camp right next to where Cloud9 was standing before. They have to blink Black Hole. Navi needs to get out. If he stops to farm one more camp, he may end up going down. Malefice will be Dark Pacted off. AUI 2000 still surging forward. But that's where the aggression will end.
They could claim Roche right now if they want it. I'm not sure if they know it's up. Is this courier going to scout it? Looks like it will. Yep. And it's up. It's going to be pinged now by Cloud9. They'll go there.
Maybe they take the tower mid first.
Maybe not.
They're thinking about it. They go in with the Malefice to start on Funnick. Then the amplified damage to fall from Eternal Envy. Now they get eyes on him. And now they go Roche. Now they'll know if this Timbersaw tries anything fancy.
I don't think they even need to know that. Eternal Envy is level 4 amp. Just watch this Roshan die now. They'll Malefice proc it or Witch Doctor stun. There we go. Amp. I'm going to say 10 seconds.
Did you just say level 4 amp?
Did I?
I think he did. It's pretty good. Minus 50 armor.
Axe upgrade. Amplify damage cast range. Amplify damage now has a 500 AoE.
It's just because you're casting Havost. The 4s are already streaming through your brain.
I've really tried hard to think of other numbers in the last 15 minutes, but I always come back to the number 4.
Yeah, I see it when I'm sleeping. When I'm awake as well. It dominates your mind.
Easy Roche, though. Starladder gets the Aegis. Who got the cheese? Did they put it on the Dragon Knight? Yes, they did.
And he has a completed Mjolnir. He is probably their main carry late game, and he does have his level 3 ult. Eternal Envy fishing for a Blink Stomp. Havost is amped, but he can Dark Pack this off. He's got his ult ready to go. It's the Wisp that needs to be worried. Eternal Envy walking in. Oh my god, look at the damage. And then he goes in again. He's got a BKB. That's an instant Aegis pop. Now Navi just want to retreat out. They've used a Viper Strike to slow down Fada, prevent his fight as they grip AUI 2000, but then the stomp comes through. AUI fishing for that black hole. It's on to Funnick. He'll claim the Funnick lockdown, but he's tanky. He survives, and still the Slark stands, and they're wrapping around from the back. The Viper working together with the Slark. They pounce onto Fada. BKBs are down. He's got cheese. He's got cheese, though. This could be trouble for a Boast. He doesn't really have much backup left. That Wisp is so frail. And he Dark Packs again. Jumping onto Eternal Envy, but he gets overrun a bit. Centaur jams in 1. They kill off a Boast. It's 4 dead. The lone respawn. Actually, it was 5, I believe. Did Funnick?
Yeah, they all died.
He died?
Bloodstone brought him back.
Yeah,
great team fight execution from from Cloud9, just kiting around as much as NaVi are kiting around. Like, the BKB wasn't even that useful, to be honest.
He bloodstone suicided, by the way.
I meant the Aegis of Envy. He died before the fight even broke out, but it baited NaVi at least into fighting. But, well, without the cheese on Fada there, they do lose it, though. So that was because of that edge. Now, what NaVi need to do is to find another fight before the next Roche, because else it's going to be the same story all over again. So, can they get a bit out on the aggressive? Can they find the opening? And maybe even fight before Black Hole is up. It's a 2-minute cooldown from now. They're respawning on Horst in 30. I think they should really be hungry for fighting it.
Would be nice. They still have some decent vision, this Observer Ward, spotting out Cloud9 in their own woods. Witch Doctor now is his Ags, so the Death Ward could be very, very relevant. We still have yet to see a Black Hole that's caught more than one hero, I believe. Yeah, there's the first blood top, the one bottom on the Viper, and just that one now. Again, a solo Black Hole.
And that means, you know, if they're still winning the fights with one-man Black Holes, if there is a multi-hero Black Hole, the fight is over. That's how strong Cloud9 are right now. So the decision-making, or the decision to put it on Timbersaw, I think was perfectly valid. He keeps him out for the entire duration of the Black Hole, the 4 seconds, and then during the BKB as well, so that one expired, and then they could just kite him and stun him.
Oh, Fada gets jumped now, but the leap won't work as he's BKB'd. Vanescore, he relocates into trouble.
Oh,
into
Dendy's
pain.
In trouble too.
Oh,
Look
with
at
the Death Ward,
damage.
the amp damage, it's way too much. He'll fall to this, I believe. One more auto attack. Yeah, he's done for. And then Eternal Envy, sensing weakness, charges in on FNG, looking for Funnick. They know FNG's done for. That's 3, but they want this 4th kill. BKB dodges it. He turns. He does so much damage, but they just can't finish kills with him. And now it's Havos, the last man yet to be damaged, who's forced back.
This is a tier 2 and a tier 3. I don't think NaVi have enough in the tank for this fight.
They better, because Cloud9 are taking racks otherwise. Could be 2 lanes, but the bottom lane also exposed. They're only dead for 15 here, but they're feeling strong. Their Black Hole's cooling down in 19. I don't even know if they back. The BKB's up in 30, 10, and they go in again. Stun onto Funnick. Maybe they played safe. Leap in, catch that Fada. Now they're going to bring in the Wisp. Working on him. His BKB up in 1 second. Well, BKB now, saving his life for a moment. But the chase continues. Dragon Tail now. It won't be Dark Packed off. They stomp again. But this allows Funnick to get in range. Then they grip Mag on the way out. Chaining forward is Funnick. He brings down 1. They're going to find 2 here with Mag falling. A double core takedown. Now the TP is out. Funnick out of mana, fortunately, for Team Cloud9. That's a 3,000 gold swing, though.
They kind of wasted a lot of time bothering that Timber instead of just hitting the tower. And then when they saw the respawn timers from NaVi were coming in, they were too late to back out. They should have instantly, the moment they were 5-on-3, just keep hitting the building. Okay, respawns are about to come up, go back. But they were like half committing, half not committing to the kill on Timbersaw, and because of that, they don't get the tower. I'm not sure they would have got it anyway, but they would have done more damage, and they could have escaped without casualties.
So one interesting thing here, they have their Abyssal Blade if Havos wants to risk buying it. And up against all these BKB Sin, this could be... I mean, I mentioned canceling TPs. He's actually going to buy it.
He's going to disassemble it for a Rapier later on. Come on, it's
Havos.
The 4 build.
Yeah, the 4 build.
Well,
he needs 4 Rapiers.
Do you remember when I said Timbersaw is going to be scary with 20k net worth?
Yeah.
We're getting there. He has the Axe Scepter now, 10 charges on the Bloodstone. His BKB still has 8 seconds remaining, probably turning this Plate Mail into a Shiva as his next item choice. Funnick is getting troublesome for Cloud9. They're still looking really good, but...
I feel like this is a very misleading 10k gold lead. Cloud9 could win the game, perhaps, if they catch NaVi without buybacks and take racks. But NaVi are very close to winning a fight with these next items coming out of their cores. And it's time for a BKB time check. 5 seconds on Fada's. Mags is a healthier one. He got it pretty late. 9 seconds on his. The Slaughter of Eternal Envy, 7. Even though he got his fastest of all, I believe.
It's 8.
It's 8 on AUI, so they're still pretty good for BKB charges. 1 or 2 more fights, though, could change that.
Big pickup here for Fada. These crits can, like, one-shot supports if they're amped. And as far as the cores go, also hit pretty damn hard.
Eternal Envy just lumbers down the middle lane. It's their detection. No gem, no sentries. They've got vision on Vanescore. And they group up on top of this ward. Oh, that could be bad. Tethering back. Vanescore dodges right by the Eternal Envy stomp. Ooh, boy.
I think Envy could have caught him up here when he was up in this area. He
wanted his team to get in range.
He was smoked. He had sprint. And he can blink, crush, amp, and hit him twice, and he's dead. The IO has 7 armor, so minus 13 when he gets amped.
I think he might have wanted the double stun because the Slark was nearby as well.
That's just greedy.
But that's just greedy. Oh, gee. Funny, just raking in the gold now. Loads of money.
It's going to be hard for Cloud9 to push the base. This is one thing Double Chakram does for you. It can clear an entire creep wave with the double cast. They do have a mech, which they can time very well, but the way you usually push the base against heavy spell damage is to have a pipe, but Chakram is pure, so
yeah,
you don't
doesn't
care.
Work.
It's a really good base defense tool, and that's another hurdle that Cloud9 need to get over later on, is how do they finish out the game?
Well, it doesn't seem to be ending too soon. I guess they're waiting for the next stage's cheese. Could be in a minute. Potentially 4. It's NaVi who make their move. What?
You never. Is it slowly?
Are we just not allowed to use the number anymore?
Okay, you did. Okay, you did catch up to it, but I was. Well, never mind.
See, your brain's just in the gutter, man.
Get lost. NaVi going to control the dire jungle at this point. Good aggressive warding from them as well. This one on the cliff here giving some good vision. They see the top rune. They will find a DD, by the way, which I think Vanscore kind of wants to bottle every rune so he can just keep his bottle going, but might want to give that over to the Slark's bottle.
Not only is Funny D-pushing, he's aggressively pushing with his double chakra. He's like managed to slowly just push the creep equilibrium well past the river, and another chakram coming out. He's killing Eidolons as fast as they spawn.
And Cloud9 don't have much vision on the map. They have one aggressive here, and then their other one is defensive at Roche, so they don't really know where NaVi are. So when Funny is in the front, they will intuitively or instinctively, sorry, assume that it's a bait half the time at least, or maybe more. So Funny can get away with these aggressive plays.
They're doing a good job of keeping their farm up too, as it's within an 8,000 gold lead. It's not really going Cloud9's way. Cloud9 are the ones sticking together more, and they're even pushing in with that double damager. And Havos blinks forward. There's a glyph ready, and Cloud9 are going to take a fight if NaVi stick around. They're sending everyone back. Eternal Envy going to the safe direction. They were initially looking for a straight backstab, but that allows Havos to take a tier 2 unchecked.
He's getting big.
He sprints back. 4.2k gold. The Timbersaw and the Slark are back on top. There was a long period where they weren't. But together they've managed to claim their spots atop the farm chart.
And I'm wondering what you build now on the Slark. I think it's a tough call. I was thinking Daedalus just to hit extremely hard with, especially when you start stacking up some agility with Essence Shift, but maybe that's a bit too offensive. Maybe he needs a hybrid item here.
Maybe like Butterfly? Or you're up against a very fat dragon item.
Or maybe the BKB is still a good choice.
There's Witch Doctor.
He's exceptionally good at using the Dark Pact though, but you're still against 5 stuns. It's not an easy task.
Yeah, they haven't been able to solo Black Hole him, but if that changes, then it could be an item.
If they solo Black Hole him, they just relocate him out.
That's true.
So, and that's another reason why he might not be thinking defensive, is that he's overcharged the whole fight. He has lifesteal from the Vlads, and I was just keeping on healing himself to bring up Wolf, so maybe it is time for an aggressive item. I guess he makes up his mind soon. He's on 5k gold, doesn't have to buy it just yet, but it's about time. In like 2 or 3 minutes, he should be making a choice. Look at the golden XP, by the way. There's been one thing happening, like when you look at the bottom, this one green box is Havos taking a tower. So
Speaking of Havos, he's on the move. He walks right through everyone. He gets caught out with a stun and just melts. They've been Black Hole expecting it to take longer. Oh, what's just happened? They had a gem on AUI 2000, and he just walked into the entire enemy team.
Havos could not have died at a worse time. Rose respawns now. And if NaVi don't check it, they won't know for sure. Oh, well, they should, because they timed it. He will be spawning at the very latest in 10 seconds. And if Havos doesn't buy back, this Roche is gone. And even if he does now, it's too late.
Is it worth risking it, though? You buy back now.
But what was the point in that play? That
Classic Havos. Well,
there we go. That's exactly what Cloud9 need to go for a push soon.
In good news, they did blow the Black Hole. They were just so surprised to see him there. But in bad news, Dendy's getting caught out by a Death Ward. He BKBs. He retreats to the left, but that means he's zoned out from his team. Double shock rooms also zoning out the enemy team as Havost will buy back and surges into this fight. BKBs were used. He goes on to Fada, grip from the high ground, the double shock room damage. Holy crap! That made him melt. And then off Havost, maybe it was just a tactical death to bait Cloud9 into a false sense of security. Oh, they only get
right.
They only get the one kill. Thought they'd get more. Everyone able to TP.
Tactical bait, give enemy Aegis, cheese, and a big,
but he got
big kill for free to get the Dragon Knight.
He almost got 2. He was close.
I mean, it was.
That was not good though.
That's a strategy. That's something Cloud9 will expect even less than how fast Voss died to Black Hole the crap.
He died so fast.
That's amp damage for you.
Yeah. Slark's actually decent against it in like the ganking phase because he can Dark Pact it off too, but in these fights you just amp him and instantly stun him and then he dies before he ever gets to use it. Oh,
now he's bought a talisman. And the obvious choice here would be the butterfly, which I also do believe he's going for. But looking aside from him for his team, Halberd, not a bad item to consider now going into the late game. The Dragon Knight with a 5-second BKB, halberding him out is a really big play. Same with the Starladder, also now down to a 6-second BKB. I think getting a Halberd on the IO would be a great pickup. Getting one on Bane would be great. He's still aiming for the BKB, I suppose, but I actually think he should get a Halberd over the BKB. And
he also could get it soon. Whereas
maybe Timber can get it too. Like, they start getting really relevant, and it also gives them the evasions, not just the disarm.
I also do want to point out, we've been talking so much about amplified damage. Minus 20 armor from Eternal Envy, another minus 5 from the Assault Cuirass. NaVi has itemized pretty well to deal with this. I mean, as well as you can. The early plate Mount Funnick, that's plus 10 armor for him. Slark gets a lot of plus armor from all of his agility. Dendy has built an Assault Cuirass and has the mech of his own, plus the Reign of Aquila. And they have a Vlad's on the Wisp. So collectively, they've got to have like plus 15 to 20 armor in their own right. It still makes them squishy, but imagine if they didn't have this armor.
Yeah.
I think they've itemized pretty intelligently overall. They just have to
generally
execute.
think in most late game situations you want to have a Vlad and an AC in pretty much every game, because the things that really scale in Dota for late game are damage and armor. Spells don't scale, so you want to prepare yourself by armoring up your entire team, and Vlad's Cuirass are the choices for that. So I like those choices a lot as well. I think it's perfect for, especially for this game, even more so than the norm.
Funnick is now officially the lead farmer. We were wondering if Timbersaw could be the true one-position late game for NaVi, and he's basically arrived, Sin. He's got a plate mount. He's also got a Shiva's Guard ready if he wants to purchase it. And Navost will single-handedly force in the mid lane. That is a bold maneuver. He did see a few top for Cloud9. He retreats out quickly. The Wisp of Vanskor almost stomped mid-tether. Actually, he did get stunned, but he kept on moving for like a quarter of a second before the stun proc happened, which is enough to get him back to safety. Funnick will help them D-ward as they retreat. They cover the path of Avost as he continues. Vanskor's just he's getting dragged around like there's magnets pushing him.
Oh, Starladder of Envy doesn't want to do this.
As BKB is going to chain, he's going to TP out. Is there a bash? There's a black hole. There's a refresher up on AI. He'll have a second, and they caught Vanskor. But, well, I say they're going to kill Funnick. He got black hole once. He's fine. Secondary black hole can be used. Do they really want to double black hole? No, he's going to Bloodstone to ice himself.
And here comes the black hole on the ground. They didn't expect him to die that fast, right?
He didn't even take damage during that black hole.
No.
That was ridiculous.
To be fair, I also think no one was hitting him.
Yeah.
So
They're
that's
just
kind of to
ignored
be
him.
expected.
Yeah.
They just went for the IO. It was the better play. They got him anyway. So Cloud9 with 2 good kills. The respawn time of IO is low, though, and Timbersaw respawning soon as well because of that Bloodstone, so...
Okay, there's your Shiva's
Probably
Guard.
can't push the base. Yep.
Oh, no. Don't let Eternal Envy snipe it. He gets vision. He kills it. Still, there's buyback on Timbersaw, but a nice pick off
That's
from
a
him.
3-minute wait time to get that
With
Shiva's
the
Guard.
Aegis up for, well, only like 30 more seconds. Okay. Well, they're going to go now anyway, but that does mean there's no Shivas for the base defense. That's a big pick by Eternal Envy. Using the Amp Vision to his advantage. He'll be in the front lines here with Fada by his side, has his ultimate. They wait out the glyph, the double shock from shredding this wave, but Fada won't be quite so easy to bring down. He brings down the first tower. At long last, they've breached the base. Can they fully knock a hole down? They're trying for it. They stomp onto Vanskor. Still focused on the Rex, but now Havost latches onto Fada. He goes in, the leap through, the BKB won't work, and now they black hole him. If he dies back here, it might be game relocate from Vanskor. Not gonna happen, he got stunned somewhere along the way, and Havost will fall too, leaping in. That might be it. With the
This is
dieback,
game
he's dead
over.
for 100. NaVi on home turf falling short. Cloud9 are fighting into the double chakram.
Never mind double chakram.
Yep.
Game's not over yet.
It's close, though. It might be. They're going to rotate towards mid. They could get megas now. That tier 2 top they took earlier might secure it. They still have cheese. And they go in again with Eternal Envy. He's just clearing out Huts a bit, zoning back the rest of NaVi. Double Chakram is enough to do good AoE damage, but not enough to actually force any one hero back. And now they go for the Jugular. The Mag Stomp is there. The Starladder joins him. Your Bash Brothers for Cloud9 right in the front door. Dendy forced back. 2 lanes of racks to be claimed. Pavo still dead for a full minute. There's cheese still ready, and they go for the Megas. That Havos death earlier, when he walked up the hill, was forced to buy back, and they still gave up Aegis cheese, may have just cost NaVi their chances at continuing in Starladder.
Yeah, Funnig even missing the Timber Chain here. He could end up paying with his life as well. There is a Crush available now. Will not hit him mid-chain, though.
Yeah, he's going to BKB and try to turn. There was a grip during that time. They did not actually get Megas. They're still in this just by the skin of their teeth. But Cloud9 can back off and just wait for one more Roche Sind.
I also don't understand. This bottom fight that happened here where Hvos did get caught out, he opened on the Dragon Knight, who had the cheese. And realistically, there's no way NaVi kill that hero. So if they commit a lot of resources to going on him, they will be turned on. The Black Hole will inevitably come. And since he does have a Blink Dagger and they have a fairly mobile team with the Timber Saw and even the IO Relocate, I think that was just a bad target call going on the DK. There were alternatives. They could have tried to find the Witch Doctor at the back, could have maybe found the Slaughter and jumped on him, or they could have jumped on the Enigma perhaps, but then you force out the Black Hole.
Should he be the one opening as well, considering
that's another
good
good question. It's just...
Funnick bought back eventually in that fight, but maybe he should have been opening first.
It is also just extremely hard for NaVi to open a fight in general. When they run into Cloud9 in a choke point like that, the Black Hole will be a really big problem. Maybe he had to go for that play. It was just a very low chance one.
We're seeing quite a dichotomy here. 5 buybacks for Cloud9. They have 10 lives, maybe 12 soon with the Aegis Cheese, and NaVi have 5. It's more than a cat. Cloud9 have gone beyond that. Shiva's finally picked up, though, as the courier respawns, so he at least gets some additional armor, but for 55 minutes, he's been outpaced by the Dragon Knight. I didn't think that would happen. Item not allowed for my hero? I don't even want to know what happened.
Envy wanted to buy a Basher on his Slaughter.
Yeah. Ban.
And that's not allowed.
Yeah, it's against the rules of Dota.
Now he's wondering what to buy. Okay, he decides on a Halberd.
Get it together, Eternal Envy.
He's just getting into the mind of NaVi. We're losing to this guy.
What an idiot. What does that make us? Oh, no.
Now they're going to get furious and just make a comeback off that.
They're not 100% out, but God, they need more. And Cloud9 maybe will just throw bodies at this game. They smoke. They lead by 25,000 gold, 15,000 experience. The supports of NaVi are just so goddamn poor. They do get eyes on Havos now. He's going to leap to safety. Eternal Envy smoked. And moving in fast. Havos will not have buyback. He chose to complete a butterfly. And Envy is searching for that kill. If Havos dies, that's GG, pretty much. But they're going to back off. They know Roche is up soon. Oh, actually not that soon. Minute and 45 seconds to go.
Still worth waiting for. They're controlling the map. NaVi have no chance of getting anything accomplished around it, so Cloud9 can just farm a little bit more, get the Aegis and Cheese, and then go to end the game. NaVi have to fight for that. They have to fight in the Roche pit, they have to win the fight and steal the Roche to even stand a chance at coming back in this now.
Or somehow take Mega Creeps during that time, which is not going to happen.
That would be pretty impressive if they do. If Chakram damaged buildings, then maybe.
If it did pure damage to buildings, they'd drop pretty fast. Well, for now, Cloud9 await that Roche respawn, and NaVi just farm their woods. Maybe they get another buyback. No, not even that. Maybe the Bane will buyback, but nobody big. 3 minutes on the Timber. That's going to be too late. Chant, how do you rate their odds for this Roche fight? There's 2 black holes to fight into. There's double BKB on AOI. He's almost got a Hex to boot, I think.
You want a percentage for them to win that fight?
Yeah.
4? No, 10, I guess. 10% chance at the highest. There's just so many ifs and buts, and Cloud9 can, they have like the ease of execution at this point when you have a BKB Refresher Enigma in the pit, and the only cancellation you have on NaVi's Fiend Script and a Lucky Basher and Abyssal from Kvost. It's just fighting in a choke point against Enigma now is an absolute nightmare for NaVi.
Cloud9 are...
He now even has a Linken's, so now they can't grip him anymore. Okay, the chance just dropped to like 2 now.
They don't have a Hex. They have an Abyssal Blade. That's it.
But they have to make the play. Like, giving the Roche away is the end of the game, so they're going to have to try for it.
They might be too late. This Roche is now up, even if they go right now. And they're not. The creeps are pushing in. I think it's just done, Sint. I don't see them contesting this anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's Starladder in the pit.
Yeah, they have to defend their base, so there's no chance. What buybacks do NaVi have? They have one on Dendi, I believe. That's the only one from what
And he has not really been able to keep up his farm this game. 17k net worth. He's done a decent job of choosing his targets for the ultimate, but as the hour grows late for NaVi, they may not have much left to defend. This base is hollowed out. The racks are exposed top lane. There will at least be a glyph. Little else. And Cloud9 start to move down mid. Let's see if they finagle towards top. NaVi are in an aggressive position. Abos actually goes in immediately. They just want to burst on. Oh no! Black hole. Death ward. Ba-boom. Double black hole. That's ready too. Abos got relocated out, and it won't matter. He's still pulled in. They even stampede. They're going to blow up the Wisp, and yeah, now Havos will fall. 3 dead. It could be 4, maybe even survives. No, they get vision on him. They prevent him from running. And Cloud9 continue their run through the lower bracket. What a story it's been. They lost Bone 7 on day 1 to Kidney Stones. Hopefully he makes a good recovery and we'll be at them at their next LAN. But Mag has really filled in admirably, and the whole team has drafted around him, has adapted their play style on the big stage. They move on now to face the winner of the previous match. So they'll be playing, it was
Alliance.
Alliance.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game, I think. Alliance are getting better with every game, it seems. And
okay, well.
I think we're in for a long game in that too. Although Cloud9 start playing more aggressively, this game was still about an hour.
Yeah.
So not closing it out fast by any means, but they still look convincing pretty much the whole way through. There were a couple of misplays, but overall more solid performance than NaVi. Better decision making. They got the Roshans, they got towers better. They overall, I guess you might also say they had the better draft, I think. They had the solutions for the NaVi picks. The Timbersaw was a great last pick, but it wasn't enough.
Well, NaVi with the new roster, they are struggling a bit when it comes to these big moments. They did not perform particularly well when they've gone to China recently. They did not perform particularly well here. Not a terrible result by any means because they took Cloud9 pretty deep, but they won't be satisfied. This team has won, what, 6 Starladders, I believe it is? Well, the new roster, still some kinks to work out. I want to look at the replays for that, but we're going to take a quick break before we do, guys. When we come back, we'll break down this match, and then we preview the next one. That's the big one that you've all been waiting for. Secret versus EG, the first time those two teams have faced, I believe, ever, Sin, online or on LAN. And it's happening here live from Kiev Cybersports Arena. Couldn't think of a better place. Stay tuned. You're watching Beyond the Summit's coverage of Starladder Season 10. I'm LD. You can follow him on Twitter, of course, at Cinder and Dota. We'll be right back.
esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.